Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So this week we are on week one of the preseason. That's right. Texans will be kicking off their preseason this. We'll be kicking off the preseason against the Minnesota Vikings on the road to face the Vikings. Then they will be coming back home for week two to face the Carolina Panthers. After that, they'll go back on the road on week three to face the Detroit Lions. So, um, preseason is just pretty much the same thing. A lot of younger guys, newer players, guys on the verge of getting cut, all crowding and taking up the reps during the games, and just maybe one or two series for the actual starters that'll be in the game. So, my main focus is going to be on the former group that I mentioned. So, with that being said, here's a couple things I'm looking forward to for this preseason. First off, the young guys on the offense. So with this past off season, we saw a lot of shake up and moving around with this offense. First, what I'm saying, we got a new offensive coordinator, Nick Caley. We did trade away Larry Tunsil. And so, in addition to trading Tunsil away, and also we lost Stephon Diggs in the free agency and to Cardi B. But in all seriousness, yeah, Diggs went into free agency. Tank Dell, unfortunately, we lost to injury, so we'll be without him as he recovers from his lower leg injuries. So with that being said, in the draft, we addressed a significant amount of things. In addition to free agency, we just a couple of things. We did pick up Christian Kirk, for in free agency. In the draft, we did go after Jaden Higgins and in the second round, and Jalen Noel in the third round, two Iowa State wide receivers. We also got Ariante Ursery in the second round, offensive tackle, and so that took me a whole bunch of takes to kind of remember all of those names. But yeah, so we Texans did address those needs on the offense, and so with that being said, with them addressing those needs, it's going to be really interesting to see how all of these guys kind of fit, especially with a new offensive system being put in place and being implemented. So for these young guys, these next three games are going to be really important. And just based off a lot of the training camp reports I've been reading, they seem to be really promising. Both the rookie wide receivers, they made some big plays in their own rights. Our Ursery, he's had some, he's had some tough battles, considering he's had to line up across Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter day in and day out. So I think it's going to be a real, treat to see what he's actually learned this whole time and what he's actually putting into game action. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to seeing like what early progress these guys have made. In addition to the young guys, veteran guys as well. Just seeing like what kind of shape they're in as far as like responding to a new system. How is Nico Collins going to look? How is Christian Kirk going to look? Especially Kirk. It seems he seems to have quite a few good reports out of training camp as well. So it's going to be real interesting to see like him bringing that big play, that deep threat presence to this offense. So hopefully we'll definitely be the beneficiary of that. Other thing I'm looking forward to, the defense. Defense, I'm not too worried about. I don't think there was like a lot of changes being made. Hunter's coming back. Now, we're gonna have Will Anderson, of course. One of the things I'm gonna be interested in seeing is Caleb Bullock. In addition to the younger guys on offense, there's a lot of positive reports coming out about the plays that Bullock was making during practice on every other day, and so he seems to have been making a huge impact in his safety role. And so with him and Kamari Lassiter, It's going to be really exciting to see those two young guys step into their second year and really just kind of make big plays for this defense. And especially with Jalen Petrie moving down to the nickel, it's going to be really interesting to see that wrinkle added within this defense. And I think it's going to make this defense probably, just a little bit stronger, especially when it comes to forcing turnovers. So it's going to be really exciting to see how that plays out within this preseason and what that all comes about. So that's all I got for you. Like I said, man, it's preseason. It's pretty much going to be the same thing. So, but those are the two main things that I'm really looking forward to. Those things specifically that I'm looking forward to as far as like what the Texans got going on this preseason. So, I'm Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz and Bullheaded. Holla Black.